welcome to another episode of Just Ask Cher. And today is all about owning your awesome, owning your brand. Because from what I see out there, a lot of you guys spend a lot of time consuming content and even getting in the comments, getting out there networking, and some of you guys are just showing up on the network, but you are not clocking in. And what I mean by that is you're not showing up, you're not engaging. You're not even spending the time to develop your personal profile so that when I look you up, I know exactly how you can help me. And to me, that just means that you are not stepping in to your confidence about what you can deliver when it comes to your personal brand. And then if we are going to get real about what you're doing to yourself by not owning your brand, by not putting yourself out there, you know what you're doing? You're leaving money on the internet. You're leaving opportunity on the internet. And I want to make sure you don't do that anymore. So in today's episode, I'm going to break down some inner techniques that you can leverage. So inner meaning mindset techniques, shifting that mindset so that you can leverage your brand in an awesome way. Own your awesome, get more confident, and put yourself out there so you finally stop leaving money on the internet, because we can't have that. Whether that money translates into opportunities, to jobs, to clients, to standing on a stage somewhere, growing your product line, growing your thought leadership, standing out within an organization. Do not be a wallflower, my friends. Your brand is bigger than that. Your brand is better than that. And I want to show you how you can leverage it. So, of course, when we are now jumping in, I always want to know who, my friends, who's watching? Are you team live or are you on the replay? Either way, you know I've got love for you. So let me know in the comments below, because, I appreciate you whenever you show up. And I'm excited about this topic because I know personally that I struggle when it comes to putting myself out there sometimes. I know you're like, what? Cher, come on. I see you all the time. You have absolutely no problem putting yourself out there. And yes, it's true. It certainly is to that point where I feel the fear and do it anyways. But the whole point is that we have to do it. We get in our heads about our brands all the time. Because there's that fear of judgment, that someone's going to look us up and judge us differently from what we put out there. But if you do not give the language to people so that they can talk about you, then they're going to have to come up with it all by themselves. And so when you are shrinking away by not taking the time to build out your brand, that's a huge issue. So we are going to dive into this topic in just a sec, but I'm going to make sure, of course, that I'm online, see what's up out there right now. So let me just see. I love when technology works. And let's take a look right now, okay? Hello, Imran. Hello from Pakistan. Hello, all the way from Pakistan. And Troy, of course, from Pensacola, Florida. I need to go to Florida. Do you know how much snow is out here right now? It's messing with my brand. At least it's messing with, I don't even want to go outside right now. We have problems, first world problems, because I know I just came back from vacation. Let's see, Whitney, hey, and Greg, hello, thank you for joining me. And Margot, hello, I haven't seen you in a while. It's great to see you online. And Team Live, love my Team Livers. And Leanne, hi. Preach, right? It is time to put ourselves out there. It is time to own what makes us awesome. Oh, you know what I need to own? My timer. So that's going right now. So 30 minutes or less. I'm going to deliver the goods for you, hotter and fresher than your favorite pizza and much more satisfying. So I promise today, talking about putting yourself out there, I want by the end of this show, you're like, you know what, Cher? It's time. I haven't taken the time to put my brand out there, but it is time. So let's see who else is there. Randall, hello from New Orleans. And hello, Mr. LinkedIn Live everydayer. Everydayer. You're a LinkedIn Liver every single day, and you are crushing it, Randall. I love it. Hello. Also to Calvin, because I know you're side by side with your dad watching, and it's always awesome to have you there. And Misha, Lisbeth, own your awesome. Don't you just love that? And it is time that we do own your brand, own your awesome, own what makes you awesome. And of course, Team Live with Calvin. So I love it, guys. And I saw Gary in the house and Dr. Carla, Maria, Sean, all my Team Livers. You guys are great. Thank you for showing up live. Thank you for those watching on the replay. Don't think it's just I just gotta love them for my livers, because I know that people are watching from all around the world. It could be 10 o'clock in the morning the next day when you're watching. Whenever you're watching, I appreciate you. All right, so let me jump into this content for just a second. And I have another question for you guys, because I think this is super important. So, do you feel like you're holding your brand back right now? And that could be because you're not necessarily taking the time to work on your profile, or so that you can truly articulate what you do and how you serve. Because you know me, I feel that most people on LinkedIn look like they're looking for a job when they're there for business 90% of the time, right? They are there for business. How many times in your lifetime are you actually looking for a job? So why look like a job seeker when you're not? What your profile needs to do is highlight the awesome things that you like to do, the awesome things that you bring to the table, so that when you're networking within your organization, they know what you do. When you're networking with clients, they know what you can do for them. Not what you've done to get the job you're in now, but what you do now. So when we shift that over to a service-based approach, it changes everything. But a lot of you guys are holding yourself back. Either you're not owning all that you bring to the table that you want to put out there, and you're not investing the time, effort, and energy. And come on, we are going into 2020 right now. Make this your year by owning your brand. Another way that you're holding yourself back is you talk about creating content. You have all these incredible ideas. You're even writing them down. You're noting them there. You're kind of working on half done blog posts, half done videos, half done podcasts. You come out with these ideas, but you're not putting it out there. It's a scary world out there, and I recognize that, and I'm not at all dismissing it. But stop leaving money on the interwebs, okay? You need to stop doing it. So I want to know, yes or no, are you holding your brand back? Because this is the conversation that we need to be having today. Me, you, your brand. We need to get it out there, because oftentimes you are passed up for opportunity or clients or whatever it is you're looking for, because people are not even remembering that you exist, or they don't know how to refer you. They don't know how to talk about you. They're not seeing you show up on the interwebs in a way that sells you, in a way that serves them. And it has to be that. So let's take a look. I'm just going to jump back into the comments again. It's always fun to do this, but let me see what you guys are saying. Who's holding themselves back? Hey, Julie, live from Barbados. Love it. Yes, Ryan, we had an awesome conversation. And believe it or not, Ryan, you are featured in the show today, so stay tuned. The Cantu got the can curls going on. So, yes, they are all in formation. Troy, you missed the snow? What? Shh, don't swear. That's horrible. Own your awesome, exactly. And the timer, thank you, Julie, for reminding me, even though I caught it, but thank you. I appreciate it. And Eric says I'm awesome. I appreciate you, Eric. Yes, I am awesome, and I'm trying to own it today. So, guys, I want to know, you holding yourself back? Let me know, yes or no, in the comments. I'll jump back in a little later. But so that we stop you from holding yourselves back from your awesome and standing at where you should be, owning it, let's talk about this. So, let's talk about owning your brand. And the first tip that I have for you guys today is, so not only own your awesome, because I really want, I usually say own your awesome, but because I have own your brand at the top, I had to change it. Like it was a last minute change to claim your awesome. Because sometimes you're not claiming it. Sometimes we're, and it's the same as owning, but you know, I had to be a little different because it would drove me crazy if I saw own and own twice. But we have to make sure that we claim our awesome. So you could take an inventory of what you love to do, what you could do all day, every day, and it doesn't matter because you love it and you're good at it. Think about what people are coming up to you and saying, like, oh my gosh, you are so amazing at, and I love the way you do this, or I didn't know you could do that. Those are the things that you need to make sure people know. Maybe there's content that you can create around what makes you awesome, but we'll talk about that in a second. But in the meantime, you've got to personally claim it. And that sometimes, oftentimes, what you need to do is own it before anybody else does. So what I like to do for myself is create an inventory of all the things that make me awesome. Oh man, I spend all day in my inventory. Just kidding. But I do spend that time. And I also spend the time thinking about, okay, I know these things make me special, and I leverage them to serve my audience and the people I work with and my clients and my referral partners and all that kind of stuff. But I also know that I'm growing in these skill sets. And we have to recognize what we are becoming as well in our awesomeness, right? So there has to be that conversation with yourself where you are claiming it. You know this is what you're bringing to the table every day, and you have to reaffirm that to yourself, because no one else, half the times, no one else is telling you that, except for Eric. Eric's telling me that. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for telling me I'm awesome. But that's the deal right now. So it's like one of those things, and I'm just checking my Facebook viewers, because guess what? I always ignore you guys. And you know what? I got love for you guys too. So let's just check this out. Hello to all my peeps on Facebook. I'll check you guys in a second because it's not updating as fast as I'd like. But you do need to take that inventory. All right. Tip number 2. So once you've claimed you're awesome, know what you're good at, know what people are saying, yo, you are really good at this. That's what you need to then put forth on your profiles and have it go through in your content as well, but you might not be there yet. So this second thing, when it comes to the content, when it comes to that list of things that you're talking about, oh, when I do my video series, when I create my podcast, when I do my blog post, and then for some reason, if you look back at your notebooks, because I'm one of those notebook people, and I look at and I see 2017, 2016, I was just looking back at notebooks and seeing some of the stuff I didn't do yet. So I'm preaching to the choir right now. There are things I haven't done that I know I need to do. And sometimes what it is based on, it is fear. It is fear of, oh my gosh, what if it's not received well? What if I don't get the vanity metrics that I want to get? And I'm recognizing, yes, it's vanity. I'm guessing it's the what if it flops? You know what? Feel the fear and do it anyways. That's what I need to remind myself, and that's what you need to remind yourself. Feel the fear of putting yourself out there. Yes, there are probably people going to judge you. Who cares? They are not the people who are doing business with you. They're not the ones who are going to give you the opportunities. It's the one who's now convinced or didn't know that about you, and finally they're like, yeah, I need to work with this person because I didn't know they knew that. And now as you show up consistently and regularly with this content, you've positioned yourself well. And even though there are things like that fear of judgment, that fear of wasting time, that fear of putting something out there and no one's going to like it, don't worry. It is in our heads more than anything else. And it will be good enough. And the more you do it, the better it gets. When I started this show, when I look back, I'm on episode 15 now. I think that's the applause time right now. Please, applause. Yes, I'm begging applause right now. But when I started show 1 to now, I was so scared. I even get jittery right before I go, right? But I was so scared. But at the same time, it's like I see the progression. So if you don't feel the fear and then continue to push past that fear and do it anyway, you'll never get better. You can never adjust without doing. You've got to take action. All right, so I'm going to stop getting all preachy here, although I'm getting some fire comments here. I love it. Okay, so the next one, stop comparing. So the saying that I have to myself, I didn't make it up, but I say it to myself all the time, is stop comparing your start to somebody else's middle. And we do that all the time, and then that prevents us from putting our brand out there. So we sit there and we're looking at, oh my gosh, this person is doing all this. They have a podcast. They have their website done. They have they did a photo shoot. They've done this. They have all this content, and I'm just starting. And then what that does, that comparison makes you a shrinking violet, and then you don't do anything. You need to stop it. Stop it right now. And what you need to do is recognize that they're where they are because they've taken steps, they've done different things. Like even when people compare, they look at my stuff and they're like, okay, look where you are, Cher. I worked in television. This is not my first rodeo, guys. So, but you got to start. But I look at just the progression of where I was to where I am now, and it only happens by doing. It's not happening any other way. So you need to take action and stop comparing yourself because everybody's journey is uniquely different. And so stop comparing. All right. So, next thing I want to caution you guys about is, so this is interesting because it almost is going to feel like we're comparing. And it kind of is, but here, there's some therapeutic advice around this. And it's helped me. So maybe, and it does completely in one way or another, I can see why someone would argue and say, well, you're kind of going against your advice. So check your lane. And what I mean by that is, okay, well, you can look at people who have been more established and you're comparing yourself to them and they've been at a lot longer. They have this big network and they're amazing and they're doing all this awesome stuff. And you're like, how can I ever catch up? Like I said, stop comparing your start to somebody else's middle. However, look at who's in your lane right now. Because oftentimes what happens, and so what I mean by that is similar established time online with their brands as far as the effort they're putting forward in whatever it is they're moving forward in. So here's what I mean is looking at someone who's on your level in your lane right now and seeing what they've put out there and taking a look at the vanity matrix. Like this is what's tripping you up a lot of times. Looking at their comments, looking at their engagement, looking at their consistency, right? Because that can give you a little kick in the ass. But here's the interesting thing for me is because, I could have a week where I have like an awesome reach as far as my show is concerned, or as far as this show is concerned. I could get like one week I have 5,000 views, one week I have 2,000 views. And yes, I'm admitting that I look at those metrics as well. I mean, I'm so glad that you guys show up for me, those who show up and watch and whatever. I recognize that the algorithm does what the algorithm does, but then I see other people slip into who are doing exactly what I do or playing in the same lane, and they're getting like tremendous results. But I have to also remember is they're getting tremendous results, or what I'm seeing that's coming into my newsfeed are the quote unquote viral stuff. But then when I go and inspect, how are they doing? Like they must be killing it. And then I see the same up and downs that I'm experiencing. Right? So what I mean by that is like, yeah, I'll see the thing that they got 10,000 views on, and then I see the thing that they got 400 views on, or 100 likes versus 20 likes. So I see that. And for me, what that's done is it's allowed me to see, okay, not everybody's crushing it 100% of the time. What's coming through into your newsfeed is you're seeing that stuff that's crushing it. But also know that it's like it's a long-term game. Your stuff, some things are going to land, some things are not. And that is okay. It's about moving forward. But it was comforting to me to see the other people who this is the people at your level, whatever that means to you. They're kind of on the same level as you. Wherever they are, they're at the same level as you. You'll see that you both are having very similar experiences. And then maybe you'll get some ideas on how you could switch things up. What are they doing? What are they doing really well? Maybe it's engaging with their audience or being consistent with their content, whatever it is. You can learn from that. But here's the only cautionary tale or advice around that. Don't stay in there too long. Do this maybe once a quarter. And it's just a level check so that you're good to go, or a lane check, if you will. This is your lane assist. All right. So my final tip around getting out of your head and owning your brand is create what you like. And this is something where it's like everybody's into this. you need to make video. Okay, here's the thing. Video is awesome and it does really work. But if you're not ready for prime time when it comes to video yet, then don't do that yet. What is it you like? Get your confidence boost out there first. Is it writing a blog post? Is it doing a podcast? Is it creating graphics? Whatever it is, create what you like. But more importantly, as long as you know that it is serving your audience, you should be good to go. So you have to stay in your comfort zone and then continue, and then as you get out there, and again, this is for people who have been shrinking violets when it comes to their brand. They're just not getting out there, right? So I want you to create content that you like. Check your lane just to see. It gives you, I'm telling you, as much as you think it would give you anxiety, it actually calmed some anxiety for me personally, because you're seeing everybody has their ups and downs. This is normal stuff. Algorithms do what they do. Stop comparing to the people who are way out of your lane. The people who have been there doing it for a while, they're not on your level, so leave them alone. You can learn from what they're doing, but if you're comparing yourself, don't bother. It's not worth it. Okay? And finally, most importantly, claim you're awesome. Own it. This is what you bring to the table. If I put your ideal, let's say your ideal boss, your ideal client, your ideal opportunity in front of you, right? Just if they're in front of you, you can probably handle it. So being online shouldn't be any different. All right. So that's what I have to say about that. And let me just see what you guys are saying. I'm going all in on my brand. So this is Elizabeth. She's going all in her brand. Gave my notice on Monday after 21 years as a nurse. She's owning her awesome divine downloads. Time to take the leap. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Elizabeth. It is so exciting. I am so happy for you. I remember when I took the leap, I've been full-time self-employed for just over 6 years. In 2013, I took the leap, and it's scary, but you know when it's right. You know when you've got to do this. So congratulations. I love it. And Whitney Houston was famous, but she was filled with self-doubt. I was just watching the documentary on Netflix. Everybody blames Bobby. It wasn't Bobby, guys. But anyways, that's another show. All right, and she had the most talent, but there's filled with self-doubt. Absolutely. So Audrey, she's been owning her brand. I love it. So she has not been holding back, and that is perfect. Comparison is the thief of joy. It sure is. I love that. Oh my gosh, you guys are just killing it in here in the comments. I love it. And thanks to you, this is what Julie's saying, I am now getting content out and meeting amazing people because I'm now out of my head. That's it. This is a prison right now. If you don't let yourself out, how can you're leaving money. Like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. I love this. You're leaving money on the internet. You're leaving opportunities on the internet that you can rightfully claim just by putting yourself out there. People got to know you're awesome. Okay. And then Ryan saying, so true. Your chapter 1 cannot be compared to someone else's chapter 10. I like that. I like that perspective. It's exactly it. It's your book, your chapter. Go and own it. All right, guys. So speaking of Ryan, thank you very much, Ryan, for that segue. We are going to move in. And guys, let me know what you think. Give me some love. Give me some, were you thinking about what I had to say? Did you like these? Do you love it? Do you applaud people like Elizabeth who jumped out? Let me know. Show me some emotion in that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. So, next thing, we're moving into the scroll stopper. And as I said, Ryan, thank you very much for that intro. And here's the awesome thing about meeting people, putting your brand out there online. You create opportunities for collaboration and conversation. So Ryan was actually a scroll stopper for me this week. And let's take a look at Ryan. So everybody, I'd like you to meet Ryan. And Ryan Holtz is a marketer for mid to large size companies. And he has an epic podcast called The Ryan Holtz Show. And he is also changing diapers in his spare time. So what I loved about what I'm going to show you next is just how easily he got my attention. So much so that we ended up having a conversation because Ryan is full of awesome. So if you guys are not connected to Ryan, make sure you connect with Ryan because he is just a great human being and we vibe well together. Anyways, this is what stopped my thumb today. All right, guys. So basically, a scroll stopper for you, if you are brand new to my show, basically is what made me stop doing this. And then what I do is I break down why it made me stop scrolling. Because here's the thing, you may not have the exact same type of content, but you can take from these lessons that I break down so that you can apply it to your own content. So let's go back to Ryan, shall we? All right. So Ryan's scroll stopper this week, and it also gave me the idea for the show. So 3 banging tips to avoid social media anxiety. So he did a whole show about that. And this is a teaser to his podcast. So if you want to listen to the full episode, he's on iTunes and everywhere else. But what he used was a square video. He has with a visual title, so you see it. It catches your eyes right away. And I love that because what you're doing is you're looking, immediately when you're scrolling, square videos, first of all, they take up more of your space. And then you've got this visual title to catch you. Okay. And also, you'll see if we go back there, closed caption. That's another big thing that makes people watch your entire video. So when you use closed captioning, whether you're using subtitles, whether you're using, there's so many different subtitling, there's so many different options right now. It makes a big difference. People actually tune in because sometimes they're watching from work and they can't watch with the sound. So keep that in mind. All right, go back to Ryan now. Okay. So the next thing we see here, it's a very short teaser to his podcast. So this was $1.05, so 1 minute and 5 seconds. And he caught one of his tips in this teaser, right? And what I liked about that, even though he talks about more tips, this podcast clip only carried one. Then what he did is he shared all 3 tips in the body of that content. So he shared having a purpose, using the right tools, and yes, life is all part of social media, ways to avoid social media anxiety. Gives some incredible tips. And then at the end, he also, and this is really important, so why I like the fact that he didn't, a lot of people, what they do is when they tease content on other networks, they only show a little bit of it and they give the headline of all the things that they're talking about, but then it's like, okay, you have to watch more. What I liked is his video really caught my attention. It was engaging. It was something I would watch. But even if I didn't have time to click over right now and go listen to an entire podcast or watch an entire podcast, I knew what he was talking about and he sold me on why I should go back later because he gave me all 3 tips. So I really like how he did this teaser. And then finally, at the very bottom, he has a call to engagement. So there's 2 things. He's like, I hope this helps. Have any more tips to suggest? So basically, if you have any in the comments, and also subscribe to the Ryan Holtz Show podcast. So again, you have to make sure that there is always some sort of call to engagement. People call it call to action. I just said, hey, I like that, call to engagement. So that's what I'm rolling with. So that's what I want you guys to take away from that. The square video is very hot, especially with that visual title and the closed caption. That very short teaser, the video itself was short, 1 minute and 5 to his whole podcast, but he gave you all the goods at a high level. And of course, there's a call to engagement. So keep that in mind when you are remixing content to share it on other platforms. These tips were amazing. So Ryan, that is why you stopped my thumb from scrolling. Well done, friend. Well done. So on to the next. Tap that app, baby. 2 Ps. And you know what I do is I share the apps that I am using for my business, for my life. And this one's really simple. I love it. It is called Momentum. And basically what it is, it's a Google Chrome browser plugin. So every time I open up a tab, it looks like this. So it says, good afternoon, Cher. And then it asks me, what am I focusing on today? So you see Just Ask Cher rundown. I know it's kind of hard to see because I didn't blow it up. And then as well, that little black box where it says my A's to your Q's right beside there, I can write down my to-do list. So I have work on my rundown, work on module 3 of my live course, follow up on a training inquiry, and finish my Forbes article. So all that's what I'm working on right now. And it keeps me focused. And every time, why I like it so much is because every time I go to open up a new browser and maybe, I'm going on a link trail, maybe I'm going over to Fashion Nova to see what they have. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Amazon, something to distract me. That brings me right back. It has my name on it and everything. So if you guys want to get this free download, it's Momentum, and you just have to go into the Chrome store and look it up. And every time you open up a tab, you'll get a fresh picture. You'll get something that sometimes they're really awesome. Sometimes they're just inspiring, especially if they're a beach picture. That's totally speaking my language. So I love Momentum. I hope you guys do too. It's free. It's awesome. They have, of course, an upgraded version as they always do. But I've been using free 99 and it is just fine, baby doll. So enjoy that one. And yeah, so just go to the web store and search Momentum app or Momentum and you will find it and enjoy it. So right now I'm going to jump in to see if there are any questions. And if there are, of course, I can answer them for you guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. And of course, I have a few announcements coming up next. Hey, Nina, I just want to say hi to all the people jumping in. Marina, Takia, Margot, yes. Let's see, Henry, freaking awesome. Of course, freaking awesome. I don't even know at what point you're comparing that to, but listen, let's talk about me for a second. Can we talk about how awesome I am? I'm kidding. Am I though? All right. Let's see. Deborah's Team Live. Joanna is saying, I agree. Take note of other people's paths. Get ideas for them, just like you would any other type of research. You can do this without comparing. Get inspired. Talk about advice. Joanna, I love it. That's advice for you right there. Okay. Gary, I'm waiting for your kick-ass podcast, so stop waiting, start crushing. You know what I'm saying? You've got this. I've seen you live. You can do it. Okay. So, love call to engage it. Don't you? I love that. Call to engagement. Something new to do. Okay, yes. Guys, if you haven't connected with Ryan yet, connect with him because he's full of awesome. Had a full conversation with him today. So I can absolutely say that he is. And Nicola, hello, how are you? So I'm just looking to see if there are any questions, and I love this. So Elizabeth says, people are going to judge regardless, so you may as well claim your awesome. That's right. Claim it. Own it. It's yours. It's literally yours. You need to recognize it, and you need to claim it. I love it. And Rockstar Cher is the one that inspired me to go ahead and start my podcast. Okay, so insider information. I was on a LinkedIn Rockstar list this week. Thank you so much, Brenda, for creating that. Thank you. There's so many people who have shared it as well, and thank you so much. And I was just like, I was feeling my awesomeness and my rock star. And Troy and I were joking around on how I love the term rock star. All right. So before I go, guys, because I'm coming up next, this is coming up fast. So I want to let you guys know about something on Thursday night. I'm on a special podcast, LeaderCast, November 14th, 8 p.m. on Zoom. So connect with Dr. Eric. He is on the podcast. Actually, you guys have seen that because it's all about winning. And we're going to be talking about, let me get back to you guys. We are going to be talking all about thought leadership and owning it and creating it. And so I want to make sure that you guys are watching. So search Lead 360, look up Dr. Eric. He's in the comments as well. You can find him, connect with him, because Eric is a rock star. And of course, he called me awesome. So I mean, like, what more can I say? And he's definitely somebody, oh, look at that rude timer. Isn't it so rude? Let me move it. I can't even with myself. Yes. So my time's up, but I do want to let you guys know that it is definitely a podcast that you want to check out. Again, this is Thursday. It's the LeaderCast. Lead 360 is the company. And if you guys have any questions, you know what? You can always leave them in the comments. And I, as you know, always dive into the comments afterwards. I'm about that life. And if you're watching right now, if you're watching to this moment, guess what? I think that personally means that you found value. And you know what they say, sharing is caring. So do a sister a favor, share it with your network, because there are people in your network right now that are holding themselves back, not being confident with their brands, and they need to be. And this is the type of kick in the ass, yeah, I said it, kick in the ass that they need. So make sure you share this with your network. I absolutely appreciate you. I think it's awesome that you do that for me. And of course, if we are not connected, my friends, we can't have that. So I am also on Instagram. So as It's Cher Jones, I'm on Twitter. I'm pretty much everywhere. You can find me even on Facebook. So let's get connected, because I can't wait to be connected with you. And of course, on my YouTube channel, all the past recordings, plus some of my older Just As Share videos are all there. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I cannot wait to connect with you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. You are the best. Have a great night.